That's killed it.
You made the decision to play Thiago. Klopp doesn't change the system since Blue left. You don't want to change from the 4-3-3.
What's going on, people? We are back again on the Jerry James Show for another preview. They're coming thick and fast, as we've already stated on this show, on this channel, anywhere on these YouTube spaces. It's been a hectic period for Liverpool, and March is really make or break for Liverpool's season, and it begins with this game away to Nottingham Forest. You know, a fixture that we've actually struggled to go and beat. Away at the Forest ground. I've got some stats regarding obviously the game. We're going to get into that. I'm going to quickly get into these pre-recorded, my preempted lineup as well for Liverpool. And look, before I get into anything, make sure you are smashing the like on the pre-record. Anytime you see my face on screen, let me actually get the banner out to remind you guys. Make sure we are smashing those likes. Hit that like button down below on this section, and that we're going to get straight into it. Yes, you man grilled me for my stream. You man said I looked like I was living in a dungeon in the recent couple streams. Had to go and get that superb faith. Greedy from myself. I've been greedy, but I'm blessing your screens. Big up to your damn selves. And look, let's get straight into it. And as you know, we always start the previews with Jerry's Knows Bets. So if you guys are interested, you guys want to make a cheeky bet, if you guys want to make a cheeky bet with your friend, maybe you want to go and I don't know, predict a certain outcome, I'm going to give you the best omens for you guys to be able to go and do that on your weekend. Heck, it might even work for your FPL, but chat to me. Let's get into it now. So the first one I've got, guys, is Nottingham Forest are unbeaten in their last 13 home league games against Liverpool, winning 6 and drawing 7, including all 6 in the Premier League, winning 3 and drawing 3. No side have Forest faced more times at home in the competition without ever losing. Also 6 versus Leeds. While it's the outright most, the Reds have visited a side in the Premier League without ever winning. So we know this is already going to be a tough fixture. Not winning there, I mean, for very, very well in the Premier League, is a worry. Is a worry, especially considering we need to get the business done. This is probably going to be the easiest fixture. In the lead up to the Europa League, and then this big City game as well. So we need to ensure we get those 3 points. After their 3-0 win at Anfield in October, Liverpool are looking to complete their first league double over Nottingham Forest since 1984-85 under Joe Fagan. So as we know, that's been a hell of a long time. Of course, we know Nottingham Forest have obviously fallen down the pecking order. They were once, the big dogs in English football. Nonetheless, that is a record we need to go and beat if we've got any ambitions of going for titles and co. After their I've read that already. Only against Liverpool, 18, and this is 18 games from 1905 to 1928. Have Liverpool ever had a longer run of away games without a win against a single opponent in the top flight, other than their current run of 13 games against Nottingham Forest, drawing 7 and losing 6? Not a very, very good place for us to go again. Nottingham Forest have scored in all 9 of their Premier League games under Nuno Espirito Santo so far, 17 goals in total, netting at least twice in 7 of those. However, they've also kept 1 clean sheet under the Portuguese, 18 goals conceded in total. So they're conceding more goals than they're able to go and score, as we guys can see here. But they do have the ability to go and score, goal scoring twice on 2 of those occasions. So we need to make sure that defensively we're switched on. And it may do, if we've got kind of thoughts about this is a game where Liverpool may keep a clean sheet, we may have to park that thought for future games and think about doing the thing that we are best at, which is scoring goals, because currently we have been conceding a lot of goals. We didn't concede in the Carabao Cup final. And we didn't concede against Southampton. So it's 2 back-to-back clean sheets. Can we get a third? That's what I'm looking at. Liverpool have won 7 of their last 8 Premier League games, losing 1, scoring at least 3 goals in each of the last 6 victories. The Reds are the highest scorers in the Premier League this season with 63 goals, with the rate of 2.4 goals per game. That is incredible. On average, we score 2 goals a game. And as a fan, that's an amazing feat. It means any game you go to as a fan, Liverpool are going to score a goal or 2. with 2.4 goals per game. They're third highest in a single campaign in the competition, 2.7 in 13-14. And remember what player we had there with Suarez. And of course, 2.5 in 21-22, where we were scoring a lot of goals also. Liverpool have recovered 22 points from losing positions in the Premier League this season. They're joint most in a single campaign in the competition, along with 2008-09. Away from home, 48% of their points this season have come from losing positions. So again, Liverpool, second half LFC. That is the narrative that is floating around Liverpool. But it's something to be proud of. We're not a team that gets beat in the second half against Southampton. We turned it up. And of course, in the Carabao Cup final, when we needed it most, Virgil van Dijk in the second half of extra times, you're talking about four. We played 4 quarters, obviously not equal quarters. We had 4 stoppages to go and restart play. And we then scored in the last one. So again, second half FC really does ring true. Since their return to the Premier League last season, no player has been involved in more league goals for Nottingham Forest than Taiwo Awoniyi. 20 games, 16 league goals and 4 assists. The Nigerian has played in just 66% of their Premier League games in that time, 42 games out of 64. So again, a player that causes a lot of problems, is a good player, former Red as well, former Red Academy prospect. However, only available for 66% of the time, and actually didn't go to AFCON due to an injury. So that's something Nottingham Forest are going to have to look at, and hopefully Taiwo Awoniyi isn't available, but we'll get into that obviously shortly. This is going to be a long preview. And let's move on. Luis Diaz, of course, the man that people say, the second most out of form player in the league, maybe second to Gakpo, if we're going to be quite honest, has been involved in 5 goals in his last 5 Premier League appearances for Liverpool, scoring 3 goals and 2 assists, more than he had in his previous 25, which was 25 games, 3 goals and 1 assist. So he may not be playing as well as he has been when he first arrived, but at least the stats are coming up, because 3 goals and 1 assist in 25 games isn't really acceptable for a forward at Liverpool, considering, we're creating chances and scoring 2.4 goals plus a game, which is a ridiculous stat. And the last one I've got for you guys is Nottingham Forest manager Nuno Espirito Santo has lost all, and I repeat, all of his 6 Premier League games against Liverpool. So whether that be against, for Wolves, or whether that be for Forest as well. Only 4 managers have a worse 100% record against a side in the competition. Gary Megson versus Liverpool, he lost 9 out of 9. Marco Silva versus City, who's lost 9 out of 9. Paul Jewell versus United, 8 out of 8. And Chris Hughton against Liverpool, 7 out of 7. So hopefully we're able to go and maintain that team and maintain that run. We don't want Espirito Santo getting his first win now or anytime soon, for that matter. If we go and move on, just going to go and show you the table and see where Nottingham Forest actually lie. I'm going to share that with you guys now. Boom. So of course, we know Liverpool top of the league. Our last loss in our one loss in the 5 games was obviously against Arsenal. However, we've recovered from that. Arsenal obviously on the best run of form, winning 5 on the bounce now. A team to definitely look at. And of course, City unbeaten in their last 5, drawing only once. We go and look at, Nottingham Forest. They're the team that we're competing against. And look, they're going to be fighting relegation. I think Everton's point deduction going from 10 points to 6 points has really propelled them up the table. They are now 15th, obviously on 25 points. Not too far off our Forest with 24. So of course they've dropped down. Luton are on 20 points, and if Nottingham Forest lose, they're really going to start getting drawn in, because a Luton Town win, I'm looking at Burnley and Sheffield, and for me, they're definitely bankers to go down. Brentford, Everton, Nottingham Forest, Luton Town, those 4 teams for me are all within, can get relegated and look like they could potentially get relegated. Bournemouth haven't been on the best run recently, so Nottingham Forest are going to be up for this. Look, they've won 1 game in their last 5, drawing once and losing 3 times. So it's not the worst form. And if we were to go and look at it, they've actually got the best form, from 20th all the way to 14th in terms of being able to go and win and draw, alongside Luton Town as well, but their wins come more recent. So I'm looking at this fixture, and I think it is going to be a difficult fixture, man. I think it's going to be a fixture that we're going to really struggle with. I think the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White, we know how good he is. Anthony Elanga, Do you know what I mean? What United fans like to call the missed star, or the missed, do you know what I mean? The anti-replacement they actually needed, the winger they needed, they let go and brought in Anthony. Quite hilarious if we're looking at it, but it is still a game that's going to be very, very tricky. I think the fans are going to be very, very up for it. Nottingham Forest do have some quality, do you know what I mean, in their ranks. To be fair, they've signed really well, and I know they've got that the points deduction clouding over them, and that may affect where they're going. Obviously, going to end up in the season. However, I'm looking at Nottingham Forest a lot. They've got Taiwo Awoniyi, that's obviously a player that's going to cause a lot of problems. Chris Wood can cause some problems to defenses. However, we do have Virgil van Dijk who will deal with that. In the midfield, Morgan Gibbs-White and then Alanga on the wings. They can really go and catch us on the counter, and they've proven that they can score goals. However, they are very, very leaky under Nuno's Espirito Santo, and that's where Liverpool are going to have to obviously target them. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into our prediction for the game, man. Let's just get this up for you guys and get into our team predictions and our team lineup. There we go. Hold on, share this tab. Cool. We are here. We are here. Now, of course, if we go and have a look, let's just get this up for you guys. 2 seconds. My screen's loading. I don't know what it is, man. What's going on? Okay, so as we know, big news to obviously recall a massive boost in regards to Liverpool and injuries. Before we get into the lineup, we know that NUNEZ and SZOBOSZLAI are nearing a return for Liverpool. Those are massive boosts for us. We've obviously lost Jota up front. NUNEZ has been out as well, and we've had to rely on Dan, who's done a fantastic job. Do you know what I mean? Against obviously coming off the bench against Southampton and coming off the bench in the obviously final. How we relied on Gakpo, and Gakpo really hasn't been able to go into the game by the scruff of the neck. I think he struggled to actually impose himself on games and really, stake a claim to be a starter in the position. Now, of course, he's a senior figure. Of course, there's things he does off the ball and that Klopp may like. However, I think the return of NUNEZ is a massive one. And of course, SZOBOSLAI coming back into the fold is a player that we have missed because of his presence, his energy, the fact that he's understood the system from Liverpool for day dot and has been able to execute what Klopp wants him to do. Now, of course, there are arguments and discussions surrounding obviously his ability on the ball at times, his lack of ball retention, and it's not for his ability, but more for the kind of decisions he's making. I would assume anyway. This is what Klopp wants from him. He's the one that starts the press. He's the press trigger. He's the one that's going to put the pressure on those players, on the six, on those centre backs, in order to make them play quickly and really force them into transition. So him returning into form is a fantastic. Obviously, we saw in the Carabao Cup final, SZOBOSLAI and NUNEZ doing hurdles, so it did look like they're nearing a return. Of course, in regards to Jota is probably going to be out for the majority of the season. Alisson, a massive blow, because we've obviously last night were confirmed. It was confirmed by Jurgen Klopp that the hamstring injury for Alisson is a very, very serious one. And look, it's not season ending. But I don't know whether to trust that. If I'm being honest, I don't know whether to trust that. So for me, I'm looking at it, and look, Alisson is probably going to be out for the season, which means that Keller, who's been in fantastic form, is going to step in. Not a position I'm worried about because of how well he's done, but still a lot of pressure on the 25-year-old keeper that didn't probably envisage he's going to be the keeper for the running, or in the running for the Premier League title, and obviously for the Europa League and FA Cup coming up as well. So look, the run of games are going to go and doing good, and we don't know what type of keeper is going to emerge at the end of this. Obviously, of this massive fixture pile up in March. So I'm looking forward to that from his perspective. And of course, Jones as well. He's a long-term absentee and will take a bit longer, alongside obviously Thiago and obviously Matip as well, that are long-term injuries. So that's what we know for injuries. And look, let's just get started with my predicted lineup, because we don't want to be here too long. I'm going straight off the bat. Keller in goal. I'm going Bradley at right back. I think he gives us a lot of width. I think Konate, of course, and Virgil van Dijk rotated and played a half each. So I think they'll be ripe, ready, and fit for the game. And I think Robertson comes in at left back, for Gomez. Gomez played centre back, but he played a lot of that game and played in the 6 as well. So that's going to be very, very taxing on his body. And of course, Tsimikas as well. I think we're going straight with Endo in the 6. I think we're going to take every game as it comes. We're going to go Endo in the 6. On the left, this is where it becomes tricky, man. I think if they're fit, and I think we rest them because they're fit, I think we're going to go McAllister on the left. I am going to throw SZOBOSZLAI in there if they are fit. If not, it may be. Can we see Gomez playing in the 6 again? I just can't see it. Maybe McConnell, maybe someone else. Maybe Bradley in midfield. Maybe Elliott comes in, and maybe Elliott will be that player. Maybe I'll probably go Elliott. I think Elliott starts. I'm thinking off the cuff. I think Elliott starts. I think I'd like SZOBOSZLAI on the bench because he's been out for a lengthy period of time. I think up front we are going to go Gakpo on the right. I know we don't necessarily like that. I think it will be NUNEZ to start. Who I think, look, he had a precautionary knock. It wasn't as bad as SZOBOSZLAI. And I think it will be Diaz on the left. I think SZOBOSZLAI will come off the bench for us. And I think we'll have SZOBOSZLAI, we'll have Danz, we'll have McConnell, we'll have Clark. They've obviously really, really, really impressed. So the team I would go with, and I think it's a very, very difficult situation in terms of midfield. Do you play Elliott? Do you play Elliott? Do you take off Gakpo and play? Would Klopp take off Gakpo and play Elliott out wide and put SZOBOSZLAI in the midfield? I wouldn't necessarily go with this team. I'd probably go with Elliott out wide. I'd put SZOBOSZLAI in and take Gakpo out if they're fit because I think he's been really, really poor. However, I do see the team resembling something of the like. Gakpo hasn't had a lot of games. I know he played a majority of midweek, but I think he'll be fit enough to go and start. He's not in the red zone, in my opinion. So the way I'm looking here is this is my starting lineup. Kelleher in goal. Left back Robertson, 2 centre backs Virgil van Dijk and Konate, Conor Bradley at right back. In the 6, we've got Endo returning with McAllister and Elliott in midfield. Luis Diaz on the left, NUNEZ up front with Gakpo on the right. We've seen that done a couple of times, so let me know what you guys think. Maybe Gakpo ends up on the left and Diaz on the right. We'll have to go and wait and see. And of course, we're here nearing the end of the preview. It's going to be a short one because it is pre-recorded. But look, score predictions. I'm going to let you know straight off the bat. I'm going for a 2-1 Liverpool win. I think it's going to be very, very, very difficult. I think we will struggle to go and keep a clean sheet purely because of the fact that, we are going to go for it. And I think Forest have to go and battle, and they're going to give us a really, really good fight, especially considering they're going to be at home. I think their manager is going to be echoing the fact that, and their fans, that Liverpool have never beaten Nottingham Forest in the Premier League at home, obviously away. So they're going to want to keep that start up just as we would want to if it was at Anfield. However, I think we're going to have enough to get the job done. I think our players have shown the mentality, the quality in the team. So let me know what you guys think of obviously that team lineup and my score predictions as well. Let me know in the comments. And look, I'm going to head off. I'm not going to really waste too much of your time, but this is obviously going to be, you're going to be watching this on the replay. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to smash a like. I'm out. I'm heading off because I'm actually en route up north as well. So check. I mean, I'm actually going to be off for that one. But look, until next time, people, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a J James show. Smash that like and we are out. Take it easy. Have a good afternoon.